Morning everyone. In the previous class, we have discussed about performance characteristics of electronic measurement instruments. Today, in this class, we are going to discuss about uh, types of electronic measurements like ammeters and voltmeters. So, in this class, we will focus our attention on ammeters and voltmeters. So, coming to the our topic of today's discussion, ammeters. So first of all, we would like to discuss about the ammeters. So ammeter is nothing but it is an instrument which is used to measure the electric flow, electric charge flow. That means what the charge which is flowing across the terminals. So is nothing but electrons. Okay. So the flow of electrons is nothing but the current. So that means device, so which is used to measure the current in a circuit. So based on whether the current is direct current or alternating current, so we have two types of ammeters. So those are nothing but DC ammeter and AC ammeter. What is the difference between DC and AC currents? So let us see the variation clearly. So DC, which is nothing but direct current. So if the electric charge only in one direction, okay, so not in different directions with respect to time, so then the resultant current is nothing but direct current. So the instrument which is used to measure the direct current is nothing but the DC. Another way we can think that direct current has fixed value, okay, so but alternating current has different values at different times. So how can we construct the DC ammeter? So for constructing DC ammeters, so we require simply two components. So one is permanent magnet moving coil galvanometer, another one is one parallel resistor. Magnet moving coil galvanometer. So it is an instrument so which works on the principle of deflection. Okay, so it consists of permanent magnets in it. So whenever current is passed through that, so it deflects. It shows the full scale deflection so that the fast current can be measured with the help of this meter. So the another extra component we required to construct the DC ammeter is nothing but one parallel resistor. So this parallel resistance which is used in DC ammeter is also called shunt resistance or simply shunt. Value of this resistance should be considered in very small quantities because our main intention is to measure the very high large values of the current. So that is why the parallel resistance value should be same, should be very much small. So it will less amount of current and hand over maximum full scale current to the PMMC galvanometer. So if you look at the circuit diagram, so this is the circuit diagram of DC ammeter. So here we have one PMMC galvanometer. So with its internal resistance Rm, okay. So and we have one shunt resistance connected in parallel with the PMMC galvanometer. So this shunt resistance R is named like RSH. So this entire combination will work like DC ammeter. So which is used to measure the DC currents flowing in the circuits. So now, in order to measure the shunt resistance required across the PMC galvanometer, so we need to make use of the, according to the Kirchhoff laws, when one or more elements are in parallel, so the voltage across the terminals is the same. Okay, so whereas the current is divided for each and every component. So, but the voltage across these terminals will be the same. So, the voltage across the shunt resistor RSH and the voltage across the galvanometer internal resistance RM are same. So, mathematically it can be represented like, so ISH into RSH equal to IM into RM. So, ISH into RSH is nothing but the V which is VSH, which is nothing but the voltage at the shunt resistance, and Im into Rm is nothing but the voltage Vm at the PMMC galvanometer. So since these two are in parallel, so both VSH and VM are equal. So we require the value, we are going to determine the formula or the value of shunt resistance which is across the PMMC galvanometer. So by using this formula, so R is RSH equal to Im into Rm by ISH. So here Im is the full scale deflection current of PMMC galvanometer, and Rm is the internal resistance of the PMMC galvanometer, and ISH is the current which is flowing through the. According to the Kirchhoff's laws, we again know that. So ISH is nothing but the difference of total current and the PMMC galvanometer. If you look at here, see here, this is the total current I which is flowing through the circuit. So since according to KCL, Kirchhoff's current law, so this current is divided into two equal parts. So which is one current value which is nothing but ISH flowing through the shunt resistance connected across the PMMC galvanometer, and Im is nothing but the full scale deflection current passing through the PMMC galvanometer. What we can write, I is equal to ISH plus Im. So here ISH is nothing but the current across the shunt resistor. Okay. We determine like ISH equal to I minus Im, difference of the total current and full scale deflection of PMMC galvanometer. Value, okay, the shunt resistance value which we need to select to connect across the ratio of Im, Rm and I minus Im. So this is the formula we need to use to find the shunt resistance that is to be connected across the PMMC galvanometer. Next, coming to the multi-range DC ammeter. So it is possible for us to find out particular range of direct currents. We can extend the range of ammeters. So by adding different shunt resistance across the PMMC galvanometer. So then the entire combination will work like multi-range DC ammeter. So if you want to use the DC ammeter for measuring the direct currents of multiple ranges, whenever it is necessary to find out more than one DC currents, so then it is required to connect parallel resistor instead of using only single resistor, and this combination will work like multi-range DC ammeter. And the selection of different resistor is done with the help of one multi-range switch. Okay, so we can select the resistor by using the switch, by connecting the switch to the particular type of resistor, so that we can find out what is the amount of current flowing through that particular shunt resistor. So this is the circuit diagram of multi-range DC ammeter. So here if you look at the circuit diagram, so we have one PMMC galvanometer connected, and we have taken four different shunt resistors that are connected across the PMMC galvanometer. So RSH1, RSH2, RSH3 and RSH4. So here total current passing through the circuit is I, so which is equally divided into many currents. So through the different resistances available and PMMC galvanometer. So different currents are Im and ISH1, ISH2, ISH3 and ISH4. So this is how. So here we have seen we have one switch, multi-range switch is available. Switch S is used whenever we want to find out the direct current that is flowing to the particular resistance. So for example, if I want to measure the current flowing through the resistor 1, RSH1. So I need to connect this switch to RSH1. Similarly, next time if I want to find out the direct current passing through the resistor 2. So this switch is again connected to the 2. So here before breaking the circuit, we make the circuit. So that is why make before break type of multi-range switches are used in multi-range DC ammeters. the AC type of ammeters. So till now we have seen only when the electric charge is flowing in particular direction, but the AC current, it is not like that. So if the direction of the electric charge changes regularly with respect to time, so then the resultant current is nothing but alternating current. Do you understand? So here doesn't have any fixed value. So it varies with respect to time. It has different values in that. So here the instrument which is used to measure the alternating current that is flowing through the any branch of electric circuit is called AC. I have an example that is nothing but thermocouple type AC ammeter. So thermocouple, in the sense, it consists of heater in that. So whenever electric current is passed through this thermocouple, so the heater gets heated and it generates the EMF, electromotive force, which is nothing but voltage. So which is with the RMS root mean square value of the current passing through the. Now, if you look at the AC ammeter, so this is the circuit of AC ammeter. So, if we connect one thermocouple ahead of PMMC galvanometer, so the entire combination will work like a AC ammeter. So, thermocouple. So, it is the thermocouple. So, whenever alternating current I is passed through the thermocouple, so it gets heated. So, the heater present in the thermocouple gets heated. So it generates the EMF, electromotive force, so which is nothing but it is directly proportional to the root mean square value of the total current passing through it. So given to the PMMC galvanometer, and the indication, the galvanometer will show the deflection. So which is nothing but the RMS value of the current flowing through the circuit. About ammeters. And one more thing is, we must remember that these ammeters must be connected in series with the electric components in the circuits. So next, coming to the voltmeters. So voltmeter, similar to the ammeters, we have another equipment known as voltmeter. So but here voltmeter is used to measure the voltage across the different terminals in a circuit. Okay, so similarly, similar to the ammeters, we have two different types of voltmeters as well. So those are nothing but DC voltmeter and AC voltmeter. So DC voltmeter, in the sense, it is used to measure the direct current voltage. Okay, so whose flow is only in one direction. So that kind of instrument is known as a DC voltmeter. So how it is constructed? So the construction of a DC voltmeter is very simple. So we need to add only one series resistor with magnet moving coil galvanometer. So here if you look at the diagram, so this is the diagram of DC voltmeter. So here we have PMMC galvanometer. So we have added one series resistor RS in series with the PMMC galvanometer. So this entire circuit will work like a DC voltmeter now. Here the series resistor which is connected uh, in series with the PMMC galvanometer, so is known as a series multiplier or simply in multiplier, and we have to choose this resistance value should be larger because it needs amount of current flowing through the galvanometer such that it should not be uh, damaged from the high amounts of currents which are flowing through the PMMC galvanometer. Okay, so it prevents the meter current from exceeding the full scale deflection. So each and every PMMC galvanometer has some deflection, so which is known as full scale deflection value. So the current should not exceed that range. So if it exceeds, it may become damage. So to prevent the damages in the electric circuits, so the series resistor, okay, so the series resistance must be considered as a larger value. Now from the circuit, so applying okay, so of Kirchhoff's again, so the total voltage in the circuit is nothing but the total current flowing through the circuit, that is nothing but Im, which is This resistance as well as PMMC galvanometer, and total resistance available in the circuit is Rs plus Rm. So total voltage in the circuit V is equal to Im into Rs plus Rm. So here Rs is nothing but multiplier resistance. So how it is determined? So with the help of this equation, so V equal to Im Rs plus Im Rm. So Im Rs equal to V minus Im into Rm. So we need only the series resistance value. So that is why Rs equal to V minus Im Rm by Im. So where this Rs is the series multiplier resistance and V is the full range DC voltage that is to be measured. Okay, which is indicated by the PMMC galvanometer. So with the help of series resistance connected across that. And Im is the full scale deflection current which is shown in the PMMC galvanometer. And Rm is the internal resistance of the galvanometer. And now the concept of this DC voltmeter can be extended for measuring different types of direct current voltages also. So here we have multi-range DC voltmeter, so which is capable of finding different voltages across the terminals. So for that we need to add the extra circuit. We are nothing but different types of these multipliers. Okay, so we have to connect many different resistors in parallel, and the entire combination is in series with the PMMC galvanometer. And similarly, similar to the multi-range DC ammeter, so in DC voltmeter also one switch is connected to select different voltages. Okay, so here also the switch we are going to use is make before breaking the circuit, it makes the contact with the particular type of resistor and limits the current flowing through the PMMC galvanometer. So that the circuit can be protected from electrical damages. And then next coming to the AC type of voltmeter. So here alternating current voltmeter is the instrument which is used to measure the AC voltage across any 2 points in the electric circuit. So here to measure the AC voltages, so here conversions must be done following two steps. So first, convert AC signal voltage into direct current voltage by using any type of rectifier, and then we have to measure the average value of the rectifier's output signal. Okay, so we have available based on which kind of rectifier is being used in that. So we have AC voltmeter using half wave rectifier, and we have AC voltmeter using full wave rectifier. Okay, so here half wave rectifier. So that means in half wave rectifier we are going to use only single diode. Use only half cycle of the complete waveform. So that is why here if any voltmeter is constructed using half wave rectifiers, it is known as AC voltmeter using half wave rectifier. So whereas in full wave rectifier, so it is possible to convert both half cycles into pulsating DC type. So that is why if AC voltmeter is constructed using full wave rectifier, so it is known as AC voltmeter using full wave rectifier. So we'll discuss about these two circuits in detail now. Circuit diagram of AC voltmeter using half wave rectifier. So as I have mentioned, so the PMMC galvanometer in series with the series multiplier, so will work like a DC voltmeter that we know. So what is the difference between DC and AC voltmeters? We are going to use here half wave rectifier element, that is nothing but the diode. So single diode is used. So that is why it is known as half wave rectifier AC voltmeter. So here during the positive half cycle of the applied input signal, so the diode is forward biased for the positive half cycle and allows the current to pass through it, and such that the DC average DC value is determined. So and then the uh, voltage, okay, so the average voltage can be determined with the help of PMMC galvanometer. And if you have cycle, what will happen? So the diode becomes reverse bias. So it won't allow current to pass through it. So that is why there is no voltage for negative half cycles. So if you look at the determination of voltage, okay, so for half wave rectifier, RMS value of sinusoidal input voltage signal, so can be written like ERMS, root mean square value, so which is equal to VM, total deflection voltage, okay, maximum sinusoidal input voltage. So by root 2 times, okay, and here VM, the maximum value of sinusoidal input voltage is again written as square root 2 times of VRMS. So that means here the PMMC galvanometer is able to measure the root mean square value of applied input. So here total voltage can be measured with the help of AC voltmeter using half wave rectifier is PM equal to 1.414 V time VRMS. And from this we are going to measure so the average DC value. So by using this formula, VDC equal to VM by pi. So VDC is nothing but, so if we divide these two values, okay, which is nothing but 1.414 VRMS by pi. So the value which we are going to obtain is 0.45 times of VRMS. So we need to calibrate the PMMC galvanometer to read the root mean value of applied input voltage signal. Next, coming to the AC voltmeter using full wave rectifier. So since it is full wave rectifier voltmeter, so we can have a full wave rectifier elements. So this is a bridge rectifier, uh, which is used as full wave rectifier. Bridge rectifier fire. So we have four types of diodes, four different diodes. So during the positive half cycle, so the diodes D2 and D4 are in forward bias and allow positive half cycle, so that we can determine the full scale voltage, and as well as we can determine the average DC value of applied input signal. Similarly, during negative half cycle, the diodes D1 and D4 will be in will be in forward bias and allow the next half cycle for rectification, such that we can determine the average value of full wave rectifier output signal by using the formula VDC equal to 2 times of VM by pi. So, and if we measure the average DC value VDC, so it will be 0.9 times of VRMS. Obviously, since the full wave rectifier twice of half wave rectifier, so the here also we will be able to calculate the voltage, okay, so 0.9 times of root mean square of value of the applied input signal. Next, a special kind of voltmeters, those are nothing but solid state voltmeter, and another one is a differential voltmeter. So let us see what are these things. So solid state voltmeter is nothing but it is an integrated circuit, okay, so which is constructed using IC 741, which is nothing but operational amplifier. So this is the circuit diagram of solid state voltmeter, okay. It has potential divider circuits, so it has two different diodes, and it is operated in closed loop mode, okay. So it is high gain operational amplifier, so which based on the voltages which we are going to here, the potential divider values can be altered. So to measure different types of voltages, so it is multiple range of voltages using solid state voltmeter. So next, the name itself suggests that it is going to find out the difference. Okay, so which kind of difference? So here in the differential voltmeter, so we are going to use two different voltages. One is unknown voltage, another one is known reference voltage. That means we are going to compare these two voltages. So whenever these two, okay, so whenever reference voltage will become equal to the unknown voltage, so then the null indicator indicates the zero deflection. Okay, so the voltmeter which measures the difference between the known and unknown voltage source, differential voltmeter. So it works on the principle of comparison between reference and unknown voltage sources. So here this is the circuit diagram of differential voltmeter. So here first of all we are going to connect one unknown voltage, and then at the another end we have known reference voltage along with the potential divider. So and in the middle we are going to place null indicator. Here the reference voltage which we are going to apply is in the range of 1 volt DC if it is DC, and if it is AC type voltage, so we are going to make adjust as per the alternating currents. And here potential divider is adjusted. So okay, so by varying the resistance present in the potential divider, so till the reference voltage will be equal to the unknown voltage. So whenever this reference voltage will be the same value of unknown voltage, so then the null indicator indicates the zero reflection. So that is the indication that so the unknown voltage value is determined with the help of reference voltage. So the null is placed between the unknown voltage source and the precision divider. So the output of the precision divider is connected to the known voltage, so which is in the range of 1 volt mostly. Potential divider is adjusted until the meter, so which shows the zero deflection in that. So it shows the zero value. So which is the indication of magnitudes of both unknown and known voltages are equal. So during this time, so neither the known and unknown sources applies current to the meter. So here, so during the null time deflection, so the current which is flowing through the PMMC galvanometer, so will be up almost zero. That means there is no current drawn by the meter during the null deflection time. You have understood what we have discussed today. So if you have any queries, so you can comment in the comment sections. Thank you so much for watching.